Hello everyone, it's Mai Larsen here with the Ciao Bella crew, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing some wintertime home decor using the Ciao Bella rice paper that has recently been released. But before I begin, I just briefly want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And right over there on the right hand side you will see a bell. Click on the bell. It will notify you whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video onto YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share our videos. Also, if you have not followed us on Instagram, make sure you follow us over on Instagram and on Facebook, as the crew team always goes live in the Facebook group to share some video project ideas that they have created. Now that I've said that and I have gotten that out of the way, I just want to share with you guys the beautiful rice paper that has just recently been released. This is the memorable Snowy Day cards from the new release. And aren't they beautiful? It's just absolutely beautiful. And when you think about rice paper, yes, you can use it in your mixed media canvases. Yes, you can use it in your albums, but you also can use it in home decor, which is what we're going to be doing today. I absolutely love Christmas, and I fell in love with this collection the moment I saw the sceneries, the vibrance of the colors. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and all the ideas were flowing through my head. So that's that one. This is the You've Got Mail one. Now, isn't that so darling? Absolutely so adorable. I love it. And this one is Winter Mood. I love the little wagon and the cabin in the back. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. This one, oh, it just speaks volumes to me. It's a memorable Snowy Day. Oh, I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. The script, the houses, the boat. It is the snow. It's just so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Now, I wanted to share this one with you guys because when you're talking about home decor and contrast and the contrasting of the background colors, it does make a little bit of a difference. And I'm going to share with you guys something that I made earlier, and it's using this piece here from the Ciao Bella collection, Partura, and it's the same paper. The difference is this is on a white chalk paint background. This one was a black chalk paint background. So you can see it's the same paper. It's just the top portion of it. But look at the difference. It's absolutely different. And so it makes a huge difference when you're thinking about backgrounds. Just take that into consideration when you're working with these, because they're very almost transparent a little bit once you've wet them. And so that makes a huge difference. All right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with the Snowy Day cards. And when you're working with home decor, you can use any unpainted wood surface. These are little coasters that I purchased that are unpainted, and they're about 1/8 of an inch thick. You can double them up with wood glue if you want them to be a little bit thicker. Or you can use cork, and I purchased my cork from Dollar Tree, and it comes in a big sheet. As you can see, I've cut it up, and it has a self-adhesive backing to it. So I purchased this from Dollar Tree if you're here in the States. You can also use these little wood planks that you purchase at like Walmart, Hobby Lobby, any of those craft stores. They have these little wood planks, and you can use that as well, and that's going to be a project that I'm going to be working on. So for today, we're going to be using these little coasters, and I just want to show you how quick and easy you can make some coasters like these. Now, here's a difference. This is just using a satin varnish and some crackle. And this is using a thick, triple thick gloss glaze, and of course the crackle. Okay, they're both backed up with the cork in the back, as you can see. But I really love more of the satin varnish. So play around with different mediums when you're working with these. They're really neat and fun to create. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use that one on the top. And I'm going to show you, and you're going to need a sheet protector. Yes, you're going to need a sheet protector, a spray bottle, of course your scissors, and a clean paintbrush that's dry. And of course you're going to need your chalk paint or acrylic paint that you're going to use for your surface. You're also going to need your crackle. Now there's different forms of crackles. There's the crackle that I'm about to use, which basically you don't have to have an under layer of paint. It works instantly with the crackle effect. Or the crackle that where you have to place the medium down, the crackle medium down on top of paint, and then another layer of paint. That one's a little bit tricky at times to use because if you mess it up, the crackle won't work. This Tim Holtz one is fairly easy. Okay, so here's our sheet protector. If you have arthritis like I do in your hands, this makes it so much easier, and I saw this from another fellow crafter. Okay, so here's my sheet protector. Here's my image. I'm going to place it face down, sorry, like that. So face down, take your spray bottle and spray it down very well. Okay, grab a paper towel and of course a clean paintbrush, and you're going to go from the center out and blot on your paper towel, removing all that excessive water, but go gently. Don't go too fast. Don't tear up your rice paper. Remember, this is like a napkin, very thin and very fragile. And if you go too fast, I'm going lightly, very lightly. It's barely touching, but I'm lifting enough of that water. What this is doing, it's removing the air bubbles. And it makes it so much easier when you're going to place it on a surface. And remember, prep your surface before you do this. And by that I mean if you have to gesso it, if you have to paint it, paint it. Okay, so removing, and again, it looks like I'm doing it hard, but I'm not. I'm going very gently removing, and you'll see the areas that you've missed. You'll see it instantly. Yeah, this collection is absolutely gorgeous, and I love Christmas. So you'll be seeing a lot of Christmas projects. If I could do Christmas 24/7, 365 days a year, I would, because it's my favorite holiday. Okay, so take that, and I'll bring your surface over. Here's my painted surface. I've painted one side. You don't need to paint both sides. This is the unpainted, this is the painted, okay? So I just painted the one side. I'm going to take my sheet protector, flip it, and place my image right where I want it. And I do know that I'm going to be cutting out that light post because, well, it just didn't make the cut right. So I'm going to go ahead and lift just a little bit and pull back the sheet just like so. And then make sure you have your memory board, or your emery board, not memory board, your emery board next to you. Grab your paintbrush again and just gently, gently from the center out. And I'm going so gentle, light like a feather. You see how beautiful those colors look? It's so pretty. Okay, that's done. Now, I'm going to take my Mod Podge. I've already poured it. I'm just using some matte Mod Podge and my brush. And I'm going to go from one end to the other end. Now, you can, if you're home and you have a little bucket with water, you can, once you've applied your Mod Podge, you can take a lighter and burn a little excessive, but make sure you have a bucket of water underneath and make sure you've sealed it with your Mod Podge. Don't know what it is, but it does work nicely by burning those edges. However, I'm not doing that on camera. I have done it and others have seen me, but I don't want to scare anybody off. But it's very easy, but you have to make sure, of course, you have your Mod Podge. I think it just stops the flame stops right where you've applied that Mod Podge. I don't know why it won't burn anything else, okay? But again, I don't recommend it if you're scared, unless you have a bucket of water underneath and some forceps. I don't recommend you do it if you're scared, okay? I'm not going to do it just because I don't want to scare anyone off. Okay. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to go ahead and probably let it dry just a little bit. I do have this one over here that I was working on earlier, and I have already applied some crackle on there. I'm going to let this one dry just a tad bit. And make sure I saw that it lifted up a little. So I'm just going to place it over here like that. Okay, so this one already has the crackle. Now what I'm going to do is I have a you can use any type of distress spray, or maybe a oil-based paint to distress. You can use mica powders. You can basically use anything to do this. I'm just going to take, I have an oil-based paint that you can purchase at any of your local craft stores. Just make sure that when you do use an oil-based paint, that that you wash your brush with soapy water. Do not use just plain water because it won't come off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and I have a burnt umber oil-based paint from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that on, and I'm going to wipe it off with, it's going to get into little cracks. You can do this with your mica pigment powders as well. But what I want to do is to get into those little cracks. It changes the color. I like vintage. In case you guys haven't figured it out, I like vintage and distress. That's the look I always go for in my home. So grab a baby wipe and take your baby wipe and go ahead and start to wipe, and see how it got into the little cracks. You can start seeing the cracks. It got into the little cracks, and now it looks like actual cracked wood, right? And so you can remove any areas you don't want. And there you go. Now you can see the distress. Okay, so then what you do is take your varnish. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit. And I'm using a satin varnish from Deco Art. I'm going to dry this up a little. But I like that distressed crackled look. I like it better than the triple thick, but don't be afraid to experiment with different types of sealing varnish. Anything that will seal it will work, or anything that will crackle it will work, you know. Don't be afraid to experiment. Experimenting is very good. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and take my satin varnish. Just going to go right in there. And I'm going to take my paintbrush. And I give it a couple coats of this just to seal it. My plate here, I'm going to take any extra and I go in a couple layers. I'll let this one dry and then I'll come back and do another layer. Okay, we'll set that one aside and then we'll do another layer here in a bit. And see this little guy here? Let's go ahead and dry that so I can show you how to put that cork in the back, which is very easy to do. I love this little scenery. It's absolutely beautiful. Can you imagine your little coasters? You can give these out for gifts. Absolutely stunning. I love their rice papers. The colors are very vibrant, and whether you're using it for your mixed media canvases or your home decor, the sky is the limit. Whatever surface you're using, whether it's glass, wood, metal, you can use these rice papers in your decoupage projects. So don't be afraid to experiment with different surfaces. Okay, so now you see it's dried up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little plate here and my emery board, and we're going to sand that down. Here's my emery board, and I'm just using a cheap Dollar Tree emery board. You want to go right onto the edge and just hit it right there. And see how it's tearing it up? See that? Okay. Like I said, you can do it this way. Another way is with the lighter. I just recommend, if you're going to do it with the lighter, which I have done it with the lighter, if you don't like the mess of sanding down, is of course use a lighter, but you need a little bucket of water just in, to catch, just in case, and make sure you seal it with Mod Podge just in case. Alright, so I love this one. I can have a whole sheet of this one. It's just so beautiful. I love this one in the mailbox. I think it's absolutely my favorite. Okay, so there's that. And then what we're going to do is, let me clean my surface. We're going to grab one of the cork boards here and my pen, and I just kind of flush it to the edge. I think this one's a little bit smaller. Yeah. Just trace it and cut it. That's all. No biggie, and it has the adhesive in the back, so it just makes it easy. Then you can just trim the little corners, round those off. Okay. It does have that adhesive, just so you know. It will stick to the back of your scissors. So peel this off. And then just burnish it in. And then you have a nice, and then you can cut, if there's anything that's hanging out, take your scissors and just kind of trim those out. I don't have the Teflon scissors. Okay. Clean up your edges. Okay. Now what I do is you can take whatever paint you're working with, you can paint those little edges up, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab my white chalk paint and just go in and clean. Oh. Grab a cleaner paintbrush. That one hardened up on me. And just go right into the edge of my cork to match it up with my piece of wood. Of course, this is optional. You don't have to do this part. It's entirely up to you if you want to do it this way. There's so much you can do. You can take some molds, you can put it on here to kind of go around the edges as well. If you want to add a little bit of mold decor on it, you can. You can also use the collection, the paper itself. You don't have to use the rice paper. You can make Christmas ornaments like this too if you want to make your Christmas ornaments for your tree. Using some of the unpainted wood, you can do that as well with the rice paper using the same technique. Very easy to do. Okay, so there we have that. Put that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and dry it up just a tad bit. And you can just take your crackle and just apply your crackle. And you can go thick or light, however you want. I'm just going to go and make even strokes. So then what we're going to do is we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes. And while that's sitting, what we can do is we can grab this piece of unpainted wood panel that I have, or the painted wood panel, and we can take one of these other rice papers. And I had originally liked this one here. We can figure out how we want it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take that sheet protector, same thing, face down. The image has to be face down. And move that over so we're not ruining anything. Face down on your sheet protector. Soak it down just enough. This is a little bit bigger than the sheet protector, but that's okay. The concept is going to be the same. grab your paintbrush and your little paper towel, and then just remove that excessive water blotting on the side, just like so. And that's just to remove any air bubbles. I'm going to go grab a bigger brush so we can finish this a little bit faster. Again, go gentle. The key here is going gentle and blotting. You don't want to tear your rice paper, but you want to remove the air bubbles. Air bubbles is removed. And I also want to remind you, just in case, if you are just coming in watching the video, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you follow us on Instagram, make sure you join the Facebook group, Everything Ciao Paper, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and click on the notification bell, because it will notify you whenever any of the crew member goes live. All right, here's my board. I'm going to go ahead and place this right where I want it. That's what I like about using it this way, because I can see where I'm going to place this. I want the house. I want to make sure that house is in there. And there we go. Peel it back. Yep. Grab my brush, and again, any of these little air bubbles, we're going to remove them gently. Beautiful. You can imagine what you can do with a mason jar. Always clean your mason jar though with a little bit of alcohol, just so that if you're applying any paint, it'll adhere better prior to applying anything onto it. There we go. Again, light like a feather. I'm not going in. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in with my Mod Podge, and I'm going to seal this. And I saturate it really good. There's a lot in here on my, loaded on my brush. There's a lot, okay? But you want to make sure you swipe it. One swipe, okay? All the way across. So you're not having all the brush strokes. Okay. So all that drying. I can't wait to put the crackle on this one. Oh, I just love doing home decor, especially for the holiday. And this rice paper just makes it so much easy to create your own little home decors that coordinates. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to lift it up carefully. Place it over here. And let's see this little guy here. All right, let's get some heat in here. And once you see a little bit of crackle with this candy crackle, you can take the Tim Holt heat gun and just heat it up a little. Just don't get too close to it, and move your heat gun back and forth. I just love that scenery. It's just so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And they're so pretty. Like I said, you can give these out for gifts, or put them out in your home for home decor. And you can do a couple layers of this if you want. But you can see the difference between the white and the black. It's totally different. I'll tell you right now, this one here, even though the edges was black, the background was white, because you can see it a lot better on the white. And you can try other colors, like maybe red. But just definitely try other colors. Experiment with different colors if you want. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'll let that one sit for just a couple minutes, and I'm going to bring that other bigger project in here and assist it with drying up. Very easy to make these little, and you can, you know, do any jewelry box, any unpainted wood box, any plaque, any picture frame with this little technique. You can also do this on aprons, like I've done aprons. You can, the same exact technique, you can use it with the Mod Podge. You can use it on aprons. So you can even make your own holiday apron for your entire family using these rice papers from the Ciao Bella collection. So the sky is absolutely the limit, and I've created my own little apron, and I'll probably be making some holiday aprons as well. You can make also oven mittens, whatever. Just make sure you protect it with some Mod Podge and seal it. But yeah, you can also use it on shirts. You can use it on wood, glass, whatever surface you want. Let that dry up, and we'll be. So we've sanded down these edges, and just using your emery board, just go right around the edge, on the very edge, and it'll break off very easily. Since I wanted to expose some of the wood, I'm just going roughly around those little edges, around the corners especially. Some of that wood, but just make sure you seal this. It's not going to work if you don't seal it. Okay. Kind of burnishing it into the wood is what we're doing. As you can see, I'm burnishing it into the wood. Okay. So once you have that, what I'm going to do on this particular one is I'm going to go ahead and put the crackle, but I want to be able to put from the collection a little note or something, like a little wording or something to kind of decorate that for the holidays. And I'm going to go ahead and get my crackle because I love crackle on stuff. I love my stuff to look crackled and old and vintage. So I'm just going to go right in. I got nice thick layers of this. Nice thick layers. Okay. Go ahead and set that aside. Let's work on the other one. Okay. So here's this one, and we're going to go ahead and grab more of that oil paint, burnt umber, and just go right in and use your baby wipe to wipe it off. I'm just going in to get some of those crackles to show up a little bit more. Okay. Baby wipe right here. You can see the crackles. See that? The difference, that is so beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. You can take some like white chalk paint and make some splatters. So we're going to do that. We're going to make a little bit of a splatter mess. Use a jam brush for this. Make it more. Oh, I got a big old glob. Grab this little blob here. That way it gives it a nice snowy effect. And then what we're going to do is seal it. Dry it up a little bit and seal it with our varnish. And I'm going to take the varnish and I'm just going to pour it right on top. And I like this varnish versus the triple thick. Just look more real to me. I don't know. A little dripping here. Oh, my rain. My little drops. little drops or splatters. Make sure you dry that up really good. Okay, there's that. Important that you let it dry up fully. A couple of my little splatters, but I was able to wipe it up. Now, let's help this little guy here. I'm going to speed up drying this here. So the crackle's all dried up. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it there, but you'll see it here shortly once we put the oil-based paint on that. Now I'm going to take this Snowy Days A4 paper, and I'm going to pick a little sentiment from here. I love the little sentiments that this collection has. Always, always, always got beautiful. Like, I like the mistletoe and falling snow. Let's see. See, this you can use for your little ornaments. That'd be beautiful for a little ornament. And you can use these also for, I love that couple. You and Me. Ooh, that'd be nice for my family. I might use that one. I just love this collection. It's so beautiful. Everything about it is gorgeous. So very well thought out. Okay, so we're going to end up using You and Me probably. I'm going to cut out You and Me and the mistletoe one just in case. Oh, Home for the Holidays also good. So let's try those three. I just want to see placements. So we'll trim it and then we'll see which one will make the cut. And was a little extra brad-like elements that they have on these little packs. They're so cute. Like that. And even if you wanted like the little elements, you can do that. Let's see, I got a little small punch. I should. Yeah, I don't. Wow, you can punch those out and they'll be so cute. I'm going to cut them out just in case. Let's see, because I might be able to have to fussy cut that, but that's alright. We can fussy cut. For the, and it's moving because last time I moved, I lost one of my pieces. Don't want to do that this time, although that there is absolutely beautiful, and we can put this like so there as well. Ideas, ideas, right? Let's cut that out as well. Telling you, this collection is absolutely beautiful. Alright, let's cut mistletoe because that will probably, I don't know, maybe it'll make it. Maybe and maybe not. Although the color's not sticking out for me, I think the red kind of has a nice contrasting color for my piece here. And I think we're going to probably have to go with the red because we really want something that has that contrast. See what I mean? So here we can do something, but imagine if we took this one, let's fussy cut it out. I'm not the best. Maybe not with those scissors. So I have backed these up with some chipboard, as you can see here, and I'm just going to take this tea dye distress ink and go around the edges just a tad bit. You can use any distress ink that you want. And then I backed this one up as well with some chipboard and went around the edges. And I'm going to put this one like so right there. And use my Mod Podge to, and I've gone and put some varnish on top as well. Like that. Then what I was thinking about doing is putting this little, to make it pop out, these little eyelets. So I'm going to go ahead and punch that out. So here we have it. I finished it up. I used a chipboard word that I had in my stash. I painted the chipboard words, and then I added some Mod Podge and some glitter. I glued it down to the wood base here, and then from the collection Memorable Snowy Day, I cut these little pieces out. I backed it up with some chipboard, and I added these little eyelets. I also distressed it using the same oil-based paint, which is like a burnt umber, and then I wiped it off with my baby wipes so you can see the crackles that are in there, and you can also look to see that it just looks like it's burnt into the wood. And then I attached some seam binding here for a little touch of a ribbon or a bow. Then over here you can see my little coasters that I created using the Ciao Bella rice paper Memorable Snowy Day cards. I love the way these turned out, and these are great for this holiday season as well as a gift that you can give to someone. So don't forget to use your rice papers for home decor, and if you have any questions, make sure you leave it in the comment below, and tell me how you use your rice paper. How do you like to use them? Do you like to use them for your albums? Do you like to use them in your canvases, or do you like to use them for your home decor? Leave me a comment below and tell me how you use your rice paper. Anyway, guys, till next time, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.